Hey, Carah. Hello. Finally.
Um,
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Here it's a little bit cold. And really,
Okay.
I don't know what to wear.
It's summer over here, so it's quite hot.
Hot. Where are you, Carah? Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Veronica and I am from Peru. I am living in Mexico. I love this country, especially the food. And I love doing this, talking to with other people and know about their experiences. I love it. So I thank you so much for accept my invitation, Carah.
Thank you for the invite.
Excuse me.
I said thank you for the invite.
You can. Tell me, where are you from? Where are you now?
So I'm from Australia and I live in one of the capital cities in one of the biggest states, in Queensland, that is. So, yeah, I've been here my whole life. I haven't traveled overseas yet. I say yet because it's in the cards for, hopefully soon.
Okay. Your accent is different. I have met some Australian people, and yeah, the accent is a little bit different from other English speakers. So kind of be patient with me, please. to repeat. Could you repeat it? Could you?
Sure.
Okay. And how did you start? Could you please? I want to start with some a concept, a personal concept about phase two. What is phase two for you?
Phase two for me is it was the eye opener. It was as you begin that journey to seek to understand, self-discovery, and everything that you're looking at, what you're looking for. I mean, for me, it was all about the synchronicities. So I just happened to be exactly where I was supposed to be when I found phase two. I found Sam on TikTok. And there was just something about it that, my mind was just blown. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what I've been looking for, without even realizing that, that is what I was seeking to understand or to learn about. So yeah, it was kind of the cherry on top, really. The icing on the cake that has just, it's the transformational experience that you can't even, like, I can say so many words, but to describe it, it's a feeling you're be well aware.
Um, I suppose that you, as everybody, you were studying or trying to find a way or a method like manifestation or meditation, all of those things that at some point mm, you realize that they don't work, right? So what what do you think is the key point in phase two that worked for you?
Feelings, because, like you said, the manifestations, the affirmations, all of these things, there was just something about it, I just had this feeling, and it was like, I don't know that I agree with that. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. And this is where, you can end up down the rabbit hole. Coming back to those feelings is just, it's like, Sam, Andre, Mandy, they all say it, is that you don't need to explain the truth. You don't need to tell anyone it's the truth. It's a feeling. You feel the truth. So yeah, feelings are definitely everything.
And how or what aspects of your life have changed with this, or what is the biggest change that you realize in your life?
I exist.
That,
I That's it.
yeah, mm, it's kind of weird when I listened Andrea talking about notice that you exist, and I was like, I exist.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no active meaning in that. But when you understand, when you really understand that, it's like, my goodness, yeah, now I know that I exist.
Yes.
Before it was different, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because you can see how you are creating all of these emotions and attachments and these experiences when all you had to do was exist. Whenever I used to hear that, and I was like, okay, yes, I exist, but, and you just find some bullshit to throw in there and manage to complicate the crap out of it. Existing is just, it is. I'm limited, or rather, I have simplified my experience so much. I just do what I feel, and all it is an experience. That's it.
What was the biggest problem you had before uh, having this awareness?
Oh gosh, self-sabotage. Self-sabotage.
Okay. But specifically, specifically, in my case, for example, was money. I was always struggling with money. I don't have that, and I can't pay it, etc.
Yeah. Gosh, I would say acceptance. Just accepting myself, accepting life, accepting people in it. I think that's a big one for everyone. Money, I mean, yeah, like I would be lying to myself if I said I didn't care about money. I just simply don't perceive it now as being this thing that must absolutely everything in my power do to get it. The whole idea of getting more of it or ways in which I can get it have all just dissipated. They've completely dissolved. I'm like, it's all just an experience. Whatever happens, happens. Just go with it.
So, if you want to experience something like a trip, for example, uh, is it different from the past? How do you buy your tickets, or how do you plan your trip?
Okay, so that's really interesting because all those things that I thought is what I wanted and that I needed money for, I realized I don't want for those things. Therefore, if it's going to happen, it'll just happen. I understand, like, when you talk about planning, is just you giving yourself permission to have that experience at that particular, point in time, because you have no idea what's going to happen between now and then. You're simply allowing yourself to have that future experience. Anything can happen. You just roll with it. For example, obviously, I have a retreat coming up in February next year. I have no idea who's coming with me. I just know I'm going to be there. So, I was intuitively guided to go ahead and make that booking. And, it's happening in February. Okay, you just let some people know about it. Do what you're doing. That's it. again, I have no idea what's going to happen or if anyone even comes with me. I'm ready to go. That's where I'm at. I'm just like, yep, I'll be there. So,
Do you mean that you are organizing the retreat?
yes.
Really? And what is it going to be about?
It is phase 2 inspired, yes. So it's going to be meditation, yoga, night walks on the beach, barbecue by the pool. It's going to be just really connecting with people and doing things intuitively. So it will be, hey guys, what is our intuition telling us we should do right now? And then really getting into communicating with intuition and how intuition communicates with us. One of the biggest things that I found with phase 2 is that intuition is constantly communicating with you. That's it. That's all there is to it. We've just not been listening.
Okay, that's a big one, Carah, because I sometimes feel that I have to be prepared or very have the knowledge to give the information to people or something like that. My BS, all right?
Yeah.
I want to know if you're a coach or you were a coach before, or you are starting this with phase 2.
So I had quit my job. I decided that's it. I've had enough. I'm out. I'm done. And I just quit. I just walked away. When this was in July of this year, which is interesting because I already had the feeling back at the beginning of the year. I had that feeling that I was going to quit my job in July. And then when July came, I did it.
What was your job?
So I worked in export logistics, doing administration, and just like general customer service. Yeah. So as much as it was an interesting role, I just had that feeling like this is the year that things are going to change for me. And I started doing things that put me into alignment with everything that I would then discover along the way, which started with hypnotherapy. So I'm a certified hypnotherapist. And in doing that, I did one of the courses that was 2.5 days, and then a couple of months later did 4 days and got my master's. And that was in May. So then by July, I quit my job. I'm ready to go all in, start a business, etc. But really no backup plan, nothing, just totally fine, of course. But I also had no savings, no nothing. I was just like, I just was done with my job. And
do you have children?
No, just me and my partner, no pets, no kids. So, a lot of, like, I've always had that sort of freedom to just go with it, do whatever I feel like it. Which is where I started getting a little bit like a bit itchy, a bit excited, like, oh, what's next? What am I going to do now? Like, because I have that freedom to do whatever I feel like. And so I had, I originally was going to start a business in hypnotherapy. And then I found phase 2 and went, oh shit, there's just customer from the mic. I'm like, yeah, okay. And just started, going down that road. And more than anything, it was just that I've spent a really long time, over a long period, in being in customer service for, more than 20 years, being in hospitality. I have always helped people. Right. I thought, well, why not get paid to do it? Why not make a business out of it? And that's where I'm at now.
Okay, but you from July to December, and you are organizing a retreat. How did you make the connections? Who are your clients?
Yeah, I have no idea. This is the thing about me. I just go with it. I'm like, I have no idea. You don't have to. That's the point. You don't have to know anything. So my intuition just simply said to me, okay, today's the day. Book the retreat. I'm like, okay. That was it. And I'd always known like I wanted to go like do something coastal, so like on the beach. And so it's a couple of hours drive from where I am. Is one of the most beautiful coastlines that we have here in Australia. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I like that spot. That was it.
Did you have to pay for the booking?
I paid a deposit, yeah.
Can I ask what?
It's a couple grand.
My goodness, how did you pay that?
So I've just paid the deposit for now, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. I have a what do you call it? Like a cancellation free period. So if for any reason whatever happens, like this is the thing, even thinking about that is potentially perpetuating a belief, or, you're suggesting creating, something to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. I've just got this apartment booked, ready to go.
Oh my goodness, that's great. That's great. You're an inspiration.
I knew.
Yes, you are. We are very proud of me. Carah, who are you talking about it?
So I posted on Universal, which is Eleanor's coaching platform community that she has set up. And I've got it on my website, but my website is currently under construction. I posted it on my Facebook page, which, I don't have a very big audience at the moment. Most of the followers are people that, people that I know. So I'm currently working on and collaborating with a team that specializes in helping coaches to get their businesses set up, things like that, how to grow your audience, how to, create everything, all the background work, stuff like that, your websites, your advertising, marketing, things like that. So yeah, within a couple of weeks, I'll have everything set up and we'll get that exposure and see who shows up.
Goodness, God. My big question right now is that you left your job, and without any savings, you don't have the money a person would consider to start something like you are doing.
Uh-huh.
How would you survive?
I mean, I do have an income that allows me to cover bills and things like that. That's just me getting paid to exist. And then, of course, I've got my partner who just pays for things. We don't even have to ask him. And he's just like, do we need anything? Do we need this? Do we need that? Do you want to go to the markets and go shopping and whatever else? I'm like, okay.
Oh my goodness. It's great to know that when you allow things happen, everything goes well, right? Or well, like labeling this, but in the way that it has to, right? I felt when I left my country, I came to Mexico and I left a good job, a well-paid job, and they wanted to increase my income, and I was like, no, now that I have the plane ticket, I have everything organized. Not really organized, but I would make the decision. So I left everything, but it was the best decision in my life. I can't believe these 3 last years were the best in my life. I met new people. I ate new food, new flavors. I have a gastritis. My stomach doesn't hurt anymore. So it's a complete change of life. that in your opinion, well, you don't have kids, you don't have children, and now you don't have that responsibility. But don't you worry about money? I mean, you are paying, or you are, yes, you are paying for these things. And what happens if nobody is going to be interesting in this, or if you lose money? Do you worry about that
Not at all. Not at all. There's nothing to worry about. It's that simple. It is really that simple. You have nothing to worry about. So one of the questions I asked myself was, what is the worst that can happen if I lost everything right now? I have no idea. No idea. So maybe I'm walking down the street, or who knows? You can come up with all of these scenarios as to what would happen, and then you're going to create them to happen for you because you put your energy into it. What you focus your attention on is where you place your energy. Therefore, you create experiences that reflect what you are focused on. I set this retreat up. That's it. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my fridge. I have a swimming pool, which is perfect now that we're in the summertime here. I have a partner that will give me things. I don't ever have to ask for anything. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. And you can absolutely, consult with your intuition. Show me what to do next. Show me what to do right now. And then just allow whatever comes up, whatever you feel. So I don't worry about anything. I don't think about, one moment to the next, because I have no idea what's going to happen. To be present, live in the moment. It's all you have. All these other things, that you label and classify as, material things and objects. For example, you take a look around in the room that you're sitting in right now. You see a wall, you see furniture, whatever it is. It's you.
I created
this physical being and call that you. You say, oh, that's me. But then you take a look at what's right in front of you. That's also you. It's all energy.
What do you do to communicate with your intuition? Do you have a ritual, or do you?
No, I just move. If something comes to mind, for example, it'll just happen in the moment, and it'll be like, oh, I'm going to go do the dishes right now, and I'll just do them. Or if I vision myself laying on the couch and I'm like, oh, yes, I'll go and have a nap. If I feel like walking outside to pick up some rubbish or do some gardening, it's really just allowing yourself to just exist.
After having this awareness, did you have any problem? I mean, when we are like, everything is okay, and that's the way it has to be, etc. But obviously there are problems. That did you have any of them, or just these?
There were moments where I would have this fantastic day, and every moment was just amazing. And then the next, it would be, just suddenly have all these feelings come up, these unwanted feelings, or the feelings we prefer not to experience. Absolutely, yes, I had moments like that. Once you embrace them, however, you get to a point and you stop feeling. You stop feeling the things you don't want to feel because you realize it's just an experience. They happened because they were supposed to happen to allow you to become aware of yourself. Once you get past this point, everything just is, and you allow yourself to just be. So if you have the feeling come up for you, go through the process. Just keep going through the process.
So that's the the point or the aspect I cannot manage well when it comes to money, and I am like, I'm spending much, I am spending this or that, I shouldn't. And I think this experience was my intuition to give me a lesson about money, not about relationships. It was about money because I continue reacting like this when I spend something or I think I didn't use the money in a good way. So
what does that mean? Use the money in a good way. Where does the good and bad way of spending money come from? Everything is energy. So look at it as you're just using energy. Whether it's, with money or when you are interacting, you're allowing yourself to have an experience, all of these things, it's all energy. So by you labeling it as being good or bad, all you're really doing is everything in your power to avoid your feelings. When you clearly have feelings around money. So again, I ask the question, what are you afraid is going to happen? If you had $0 tomorrow, if you had $0 in 5 minutes' time, what are you doing? What are you doing for that time? How are you using your energy?
trying to create money.
So your focus is on money. And you're afraid to lose it. Then admit it to yourself.
Yes, because when Andra or when people in our community say something about what if you lose everything and you spend the rest of your life under a bridge without anything? I can't imagine that situation in my case. I am like, no, I would die. I couldn't do that.
So what is the worst that could happen?
That I enjoy having the possibility of buying things and have the things that I like. So if I lose everything, I want to be able to pay the things that I like or the food that I want or go to the places I want.
So you're not allowing yourself to appreciate yourself. If you are concerned that you're not going to be able to do all of these things because your focus is on having money to be able to do them, to have those things, it's just you simply not appreciating yourself. Take a look around right now. Take a look at your home, your situation, in the exact moment that you're in. And I want you to think about, what have you got? You're not without anything. We are never without anything. We are in infinite abundance at all times. Now, if you could go and make a meal right now, that's a privilege, yes? Therefore, appreciate it. If you can go and curl up into your bed right now and get nice and cozy and warm, that's a privilege. You get to have that experience. Therefore, just appreciate it. Appreciate what you have instead of thinking about what you may not have if you don't have this thing or that thing, like money. When you just appreciate what you have no idea what's going to happen. You have no idea if you're going to get more money or if money comes into your experience.
Oh, gee, I suppose I appreciated that because every day I wake up, I'm like having a dream. The place I live is so beautiful. The things I have are perfect. My friends, my new friends, they love me every day. They are like, Vero, come to my home. Let's let's have a meal. Come with me. Everything. They have everything, and I think for that every day. Even when I am taking a shower, I think thank you God for the water, the place, the bathroom. But at some point, I don't appreciate that at the same time.
It is so easily overlooked because we are so thankful for all of these things. Something that a wise person once said to me is, the more you are thankful for, the more you create into your experience to be thankful of. So if I'm thankful for beautiful things like beautiful flowers, I'm going to create more beautiful flowers into my experience to be thankful for. That just simply means that the more you appreciate, you're going to create more things to appreciate. So where you have all these things, you just said you have, these beautiful friends that they invite you for dinner, to go and stay with them. What is the worst that could happen if you didn't have money? I don't think you have one. Because you'd just call a friend and be like, hi, I'm coming over. I have nowhere to live, whatever it may be. Always what we think is the worst that can happen is just us then making mountains out of molehills. We create the situation to be bigger than it is, to be a bigger problem than it is. We don't have problems. We just have thoughts. And those thoughts get in the way of allowing us to just experience what is happening.
Jada, with Eleanor, she has created a platform, right, where you are teaching things. What are you doing exactly, or what is her objective?
So it's a community where people can find themselves a coach, a phase 2 inspired coach. And we are sharing content that is phase 2 inspired so that people can get the message,
Um,
I think it's active, but not 100% sure if it's available for people to actually go and start logging in and access the content. So the idea is that it's free. It's free content for people to discover phase 2, essentially. And then, of course, there are those of us that are coaches that are available if people want mentorship or coaching.
okay. And how many people did you talk with?
What do you mean?
I suppose people get in touch with you.
Yeah, I mean, There is a section, and because it's set up similar to, because it's using the Circle app. So it has the similar setup with the categories down the left column, and then there are different sections. And so there is a coaches section where people can come and check out the coaches, where we just have a sort of a profile. And alternatively, when you see content on the community, in the chat, things like that, if there is somebody that you resonate with, you can reach out to them. So,
Okay. And what about your relationship, Carah? Do you see any change?
how do you see change?
I mean, before phase 2, how were your relationships?
Everything that is how I felt about myself is ultimately what created the relationships I had. So if I didn't like it, it was just other people showing me something about myself that I didn't like. So the relationships were, you can label it and say that they were, I'm not even sure what words to describe, because there were some that were good and others that were just exhausting, because I was it was draining me of my energy, and I was allowing these people to be in my life. I got to a point and I just said, enough's enough. I am done. As Andre says, I'm not interested in people who will complain about their life but do absolutely nothing to change it. That change is a willingness. What are you willing to do? If you want to create something different in your reality, if you want to create something new in your reality, what are you willing to do? If you're willing to do nothing, you get nothing. If you are willing to continue to put your energy into something that is, it makes you miserable, it makes you feel some kind of way, you're going to continue to create experiences that reflect what you're focused on.
And what about your partner?
He's my mirror, but also he is like, he's a really good reflection of the changes that I have made. As I am making changes, I see them in him, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool. It's really great, actually. It's been quite interesting, because it's really true what they say, in that when you make the changes within, it reflects out. And so I'm seeing that in him, and all I have to do is change myself. If I don't like something that he's doing, that's just me saying I don't like something about me. And so I'll go and change it here. And then what is reflected back to me is, what I would do.
Okay, that's what Eleanor also mentioned when she speaks about her husband, right? It's something like that. What about your family, your parents? Do you have brothers?
I sometimes communicate with my dad and my mum, because they live on the opposite side of the state. So, yeah, they're about the only family that I really have that I still keep in contact with, and everyone else, it's the same thing. When I dropped the bullshit, I dropped people, and that does not discriminate. When you are letting go of what no longer serves you, what is not of interest to you, and you stop feeding your energy into that, energy doesn't discriminate. It's just labels. We put labels on everything. So you classify it as being family and friends and loved ones and everything else. Really, at the end of the day, we're all the same. So it's just about what you're willing to keep in your experience and what you're willing to let go of.
It happened to me with my family. when I left Peru, I also left them. And it's incredible how the problems that I would see, they don't exist anymore. They are good.
Yeah. You know, everyone has just played their role in our experience perfectly. No matter what it is, no matter who they are, they have done exactly what was their role in our experience in order for us to discover ourselves and discover phase 2 and start making those changes and start, you know, being the change that we want to see. The reflection.
Do you have a mentor in phase 2, Carah?
I wouldn't say that I had a mentor per se. I spoke with Andre quite a few times. Mandy has, you know, reached out to me on a couple of occasions as I've reached out to her. Sam is, you know, that I've just been following a lot of her content, Instagram especially, and YouTube, and just taking that information and using it, and seeing how it applies to my, you know, current circumstance, whatever. I have not had a mentor, specifically somebody that I meet with on a regular basis to discuss all my feelings, things like this. I simply just took the information and ran with it.
Is it okay for you, or do you think everybody needs a mentor?
Need someone. You do. I've gone about it differently. However, in thinking about, you know, what a mentor is, I've had mentors over the years. I just didn't realize that's what they were doing. They were mentoring me. And so I used to, you know, I would quickly get defensive about, how dare you say that to me? Like, how could she say that? And, you know, just all these things. But it was actually them mentoring me because they could see parts of me I couldn't see in myself. So I look at everyone as being me. And therefore, anything that is said, it doesn't matter what it is if that there are going to be some things that resonate and other things that are just, you know, are just spoken words, for example. There were a lot of moments where I could absolutely resonate with the message, but I didn't see how it applied to my experience. You continue to go through the process. All the information is there. What, you know, Andre and Sam and Mandy are sharing is going to allow you to eventually break free. It happens. It's just an experience that happens. And you have no idea of, like, no way of knowing when that's going to happen. It just happens. If you find that and this is something you can just as easily ask your intuition as well, is, should I get a mentor? Who should I get as a mentor? You can ask those questions, absolutely, and see what comes up for you. My advice would be, if you're asking whether or not it is necessary to get a mentor, then you should absolutely get a mentor. The whole point, the whole purpose is that they're going to point things out to you that you're just simply not seeing. And when you give them permission to do that for you, it's just you giving yourself permission to accept yourself and those parts of you and those areas that you're not yet aware of.
Yeah.
That I found with phase 2 is that I was allowing myself to become overwhelmed with all the information because I was trying to make sense of it, instead of it's just information.
Yeah, that's a good point, because there is lots of information, especially in the community. There is no time sometimes to be updated with everything. And it's, in my case, for example, I am like, oh no, I didn't see this video, so I should, or but it's not natural, I think. And at the end, I ask myself, okay, you are getting all this information, but you are not applying. So what's the point?
Yeah. So in that moment that I would highly recommend, forget everything. Admit to yourself you know nothing. When you do this, then you realize, well, okay, that information is intended to help me. You already have the tools. So just keep using them. That is the best thing that you can possibly do, is just keep using the tools. When those feelings come up, process them. Use the tools, use the techniques. Have you read the books, the quantum books?
Yeah, the first one.
Read them again. So keep reading the books. All the information is there. This is the thing. So when you are attempting to make sense of it, to absorb it, to process it, you're not allowing yourself to just appreciate the information that it is showing you, parts of yourself. So I read all of the books, and then I read them again, and then I read them again, and just kept just listening to myself. Okay, what do I feel like now? So for example, if I felt like reading the first book, I did that. I even asked Andre for a recommendation on a book to read. And that's when he suggested Meditations, Marcus Aurelius. So everything is there. Like, I think, or what I feel is that you're attempting to make sense of it and to understand it because you feel that you should be further along than what you are, instead of just appreciating that you're having an experience. It's an incredible experience. It is what it is, and it's supposed to happen exactly the way it is happening. And then just roll with it. And again, don't forget to ask yourself, to ask your intuition, am I complicating my experience? See what comes up for you. I like that it's so simple, and you'll get like a yes or no straight away. And then it's like, okay. Oh, and then trusting, especially, it's the big one, is trusting that when you are given instructions or when you are shown things about yourself, you trust yourself, what you're being shown, what comes up. I got a vision one day of Cinnabon, where they make the cinnamon scrolls. And I was like, oh, I have to go and get one of those. So I found my local, the closest shopping center that has them. And I went out and made a day of it, went and had some lunch and got my cinnamon scroll. Nothing exciting other than just pure enjoyment is what came from that, because I allowed myself to have the experience. That's a little simplify.
I think the question you just mentioned is the one I needed. You said, am I complicated? Am I complicating my existence? That is the question for me. Because I have everything. I enjoy every day here. I enjoy talking to people now. I am like, okay, who I'm going to meet today? Yes. And I am excited every time I organize a meeting. Like, it's a surprise. I feel very, very grateful for this experience and all that is happening to me in this country. But I complicate my existence with when it comes to money and relationships. And Andrea told me, you are the same in every aspect. You cannot say, I am like this and that aspect, and I am different in the others. You are the same. And I am like, yes.
Yes.
Some point, that's true. Yeah. And so, how did you meet Ana Carolina?
Just through messages. She reached out to me one day, and her and Mariluz and myself were going to get on the call together. But then she didn't show up. So myself and Mary Luz had the call together. But then she messaged me the other day. She said, "Oh, Veronica is doing, she's doing something for the podcast for the YouTube, whatever. She would, I mentioned your name, blah, blah." So I haven't actually met her yet. But, through it, I've had a couple of interactions now with people out of the community, and it's been good. It's been good. So you'll have to tell her now, like, go and have a chat with Carah.
I suppose you were like not friends, but you were having conversations before.
Yeah. And that's what the community's for. Yeah. It's just connecting on the community and interacting and discovering parts of yourself, because you're going to hear something out of somebody that resonates with you and sort of, makes you become aware of yourself, which is the whole point.
And did you offer something in the community? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I have a side business that's creative wolf designs, and that is where, because I draw, so I do draw anything, right? If you can put art on it, I can draw something for you. So yeah, it's something that I've always loved. It's just something that's always been a part of me throughout my entire experience. I love doing artwork. I love drawing. So I've created a business where I can create anything artistic for you.
Currently, do you do that for other people?
What do you mean?
I mean, do you work? Is it your job?
No, I kept putting it off. I kept putting it to the side. I kept saying, I've got to do this and that, and I've got to go to a job, and life gets in the way, and I've got to pay bills, and I can't just spend all my time and energy doing artwork. So it was all the bullshit that I'm telling myself, right? It's all the reasons that I was coming up with, and the excuses not to do it. I got to a point where I just said, I'm done. This is something I love. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop putting it off. So I'm allowing myself to have that experience now.
Okay. That's something that surprised me, because I thought you got money only by working hard. That was the teaching or the lesson I had from my parents and teachers and society, wherever. But in the community, I met people who are offering different expressions of services. And I am like going or getting into a new world and so different ideas. And I am working with Shweta. Do you know her?
I've seen her name. Yeah.
And she's full of energy. She's only 21 years old, and she's teaching me a lot of things. And she pushed me to post something where, and she told me, go and show yourself and ask for money. And I was like, I couldn't. It was really difficult to me to express myself in the community. But now I am like,
yes,
I love that the new ideas, the way we can get money is like, can we get money by this way? I didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you are having fun with your activities now, and you get money in a different way.
Yes. So far, yeah. Because I'm just allowing myself to have the experience of whatever it is that I'm doing. Even if it is, some days I will just lay on the couch and do absolutely nothing. But like I said, I have food in the fridge. I have my swimming pool. I have a beautiful home that I live in. I have things that are necessary for me to live or to experience or to exist.
That's great. And Carah, do you mentor anybody now, or you are giving coach?
Not currently mentoring anyone, but I am definitely ready to start coaching. I'm working on putting together my program. That I'm creating a structure to implement the coaching so that you know exactly what you're going to be doing. When you step into a coaching session with me, it's going to be, I'm providing you with information, resources, tools, and whatever else necessary for you to get started on, beginning your phase 2 journey. So this is, predominantly going to be for people that have never considered this option as an alternative perspective, as it were. So that's essentially what I'm coaching, is an alternative lifestyle. If you've always done something in a specific way, then maybe you're looking to do something completely different. Now, as I mentioned before, when you look at all the information that is out there, relevant to phase 2 and what Sam and Andre and Mandy are sharing, and the Quantum Wealth on YouTube, as well as the Quantum Wealth community, all of these things, all that information is there. So there is a lot of support in that respect. There is, because of that information, and then having someone to simply explain it to you in a way that allows you to, number one, you get to interact with that person. So like your coach, for example. So then whenever those questions come up, you can go ahead and ask them, and not having to, there's no lag, no waiting period to get a response to that, because you're interacting with that coach. So then you can get that response immediately. It's also a great opportunity for you to feel your feelings with someone else, which is just you anyway. But where you get to have that, connection, it's really just a connection with yourself. You become aware, you're exposed to the elements that allow you to become aware of yourself. And that's the whole point.
When you say follow steps, I think about, isn't phase 2 about feelings only? I mean, there are more steps to follow.
There's no right or wrong way to experience reality. So when you remove that judgment, right, because that is also an expectation, you're expecting that there has to be a certain result and it can only be achieved in this way. So you've got judgment and expectation going on right now. Then you're also looking at it from the perspective that if I have my way of teaching and showing people, you're comparing it to everything that you have been learning through the phase 2 community and through the teachings of Andre and Sam and Mandy. So this is where you can just, when you remove those judgments and comparisons, the expectations, you look at it from that, there is no right or wrong way to experience reality. They are doing for us what has not been openly available to everyone. And I mean absolutely everyone. That is why it's called Secrets of the Wealthy, right? So wealthy people knew this or know this or had this information. They were able to apply it in a way that allowed them to create incredible wealth. And they were not sharing it, or rather and for the reasons that Andre suggested, was that because, people just don't listen. So therefore they gave up on the idea of trying to explain something when it was so simple. You're now experiencing for yourself how this has become relatively, it can be a little bit, I guess, interesting because of how you're perceiving things. When something is told to us that it is easy or it is simple our logical brain is going to turn around, complicate the shit out of it and say, you know what? No, this doesn't seem simple. And, it's not going to be fun if we don't complicate it. It's not going to be fun if we can't make an absolute mess of it. And then we're going to go ahead and throw in some feelings there of judgment and comparison, because now we're going, well, you love doing that, don't you? You just love messing shit up for yourself instead of just, you know what? You exist. That's really all there is to it. You can create any experience that you want to have in every single moment.
So that's the point that is going to be the point with your clients.
The way I see it is that, Quantum World Community, Phase 2, Sam, Andre, Mandy, everything that they're teaching, the way that Andre coaches, whatever. He does it his way that is specific to him. Let's just say that's the case, okay? There is perception. Everyone's perception is different. So I'm coaching from a perception of what worked for me and how I feel. And I'm simply sharing that. If people to become aware of themselves.
By listening to your intuition and asking and follow it. Okay, Carah. I want to know. You told me that you talked with Andre and as sessions or just texting.
Well, you could just simply ask him for a book recommendation, something like that, like whatever it may be. If you would maybe you're looking for mentorship, whatever it may be. But even then, it comes back to those feelings. How does it make you feel? Do you feel like he is that person you want to reach out to? Maybe Sam is that person. Maybe Mandy. Maybe you want to reach out to Eleanor. Whoever it may be. You've reached out to me. It's about what, for whatever reason or whatever is going on with your feelings about something, what does your intuition want you to do? Is there a specific area that you'd like to focus on to resolve any issues that you may have?
Yeah, but at the end, at some point, you have the answers, right? You have all the answers inside. And the thing is allowing yourself to express or to listen to your emotions or to your intuition. Sometimes I complicate myself by saying, is it my brain or my intuition? I am fooling myself, or is it true?
You're not allowing yourself to feel your feelings. So you're trying to rationalize it with your mind. You're trying to come up with the answer in your mind, and therefore you're not allowing yourself to recognize the difference between your intuition and your ego.
Yeah, because it's not logical for me.
Because what is the one thing that, is it probably expressed the most in phase 2 is to feel your feelings. So when you're communicating with your intuition, it is all about those feelings. Do you get a feeling to go and do something? Do you get a feeling to, interact with someone, whatever it may be? Pay attention to those feelings. Your feelings are everything in how you react, how you interact in this reality.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Carah. Could you tell the audience, the people who are going to see the video, where is going to be your retreat? When it's going to be?
Right. So it's on the Sunshine Coast of Queensland, the beautiful, Queensland East Coast, in a place called Parisian Beach, I believe it's called, in the region of Noosa. Really beautiful coastal place. if you're ever visiting the Queensland coast, because obviously our entire country is surrounded by coastline, then we have beautiful beaches everywhere. So this is a particularly beautiful spot to visit. Parisian Beach, Noosa, Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia. There we go. Get them out for you. This is happening on the 24th of February next year to the 2nd of March. So it's 7 days.
And how do we contact? Can we book?
Yeah. So you can book. I'll have to set up a link. Maybe I'll put it in the offerings because as I mentioned, my website is currently under construction. So that would be one of the options. I will send you a link and my email, direct email, so that people can reach me if they have any queries. And start getting some bookings happening. At this stage, I have 4 spots available. So 4 spots, yeah. It's going to be a very cozy little gathering. I didn't want to make it too much of a party, and instead this gives us the opportunity to really just experience ourselves in this cozy setting where you are able to express freely, but we can also do the meditations, have one-on-one sessions, and we're going to have more time to do that, or be able to experience that with one another, as opposed to when you've got a whole group. Sometimes it can get a little bit busy with all the thoughts and feelings and emotions, whatever going on. Want to keep it small. I happen to be a very, very good cook, so I'll probably cook a few of the meals. We may even go out for dinner, just things like that. So yeah, just making it a cozy experience for my first ever retreat. So that's going to be fun.
That's good, Carah. Okay, I'm going to text you to ask you for more information about your retreat. I can change my plane ticket to Australia.
See, there you go. You never know where you find love. Maybe that will retreat.
Maybe, but I am in love with Mexican people.
Yeah. In the last couple of years, in the last few years, actually, I started meeting more, I guess not South American, that's it. Started meeting a lot more South American people, especially ladies from Chile. Who else did I meet? Yeah, mainly from around that area. And it's like, they just kept showing up in my experience, and I'm like, I like you because I love the accent. I cannot speak Spanish. I tried to learn once, and it just wouldn't happen for me. So maybe I'll try it again. But yeah, and just meeting these people, and it was just really interesting because I created them into my experience. But yeah, finding more and more, I'm meeting people Spanish, I think, is my intuition telling me learn Spanish.
You should. If you want, we can practice.
Okay.
Well, I hope we have more meetings, more reunions, and I loved talking to you, Carah. It was a nice experience.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you very much. If you want to say something else.
Oh, no, just thank you for inviting me.
It was really great, Carah. Thank you for your advice and your energy and your patience and everything. Thank you very much. And I'm proud of you. I'm going to follow your lesson. You are going to be my inspiration from now.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Carah. See you.
Have a good evening or good rest of your night. Bye for now. Bye.